we're showing persona, and what we're doing is we're actually replaying data that we've captured from a driver, and we're replaying that data back into the vehicle. And in the vehicle, we're going to capture that data, we're going to put it through our machine learning harness, and then fire it into our machine learning model. And that model's then going to look to see who is actually driving the vehicle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to start the vehicle with Cedric's key. So what's happened here is Trevor, who's the younger driver in the family, he's not supposed to have as much power available to him when he's driving the vehicle. But what he's going to do is he's going to take his father's key, Cedric, and he's going to go and have some fun with the vehicle. So Trevor's picked up the wrong key, and when we go to inject this data, it will actually replay a little bit quicker than we would tend to have in real life, but the data is actually going into the vehicle. Typically it would take 1 to 2 minutes to identify who's driving. So the first thing we do, we inject the data here, and what you can see on the display in the vehicle, we're actually going to see that it thinks Cedric's driving the car. So welcome to your car, Cedric. Everything's cool. We've got about 300 horsepower on our right foot. And then all of a sudden it comes up here and says, Trevor, you appear to be using the wrong key. At this point, we can send off an event. We can send an event off to the parent's phone, for example, or in this case, we're showing we're going to have an event in the vehicle operations center. So if we come back here, we can see that it is an authorized driver because we know that Trevor is a driver we recognize. However, when we go to review this, we find that there was actually a mismatch in terms of the key that was used against the driver that we detected. So in that case, what we might do is then reduce the horsepower, make it set up for what Trevor would typically have if he was using his key as opposed to when he was using his father's key. And of course this has got a huge amount of use cases in commercial vehicles as well, and being able to know who is actually driving the vehicle at any time.
And what are some examples of some of the actions that you could take depending on if you've identified the wrong driver?
The example of actions I mentioned on this one would be maybe sending an alert to a parent's phone, or in this example having an event that's come into the vehicle operations center. But in the worst case scenario, if you had an unknown driver, one of the things that you might want to do there is take some pretty drastic action. But again, it depends on what you would do with the vehicle operations center. And again, from a fleet management perspective, what you're actually going to do. What we do here is we do detect that Cedric's key was used, but we're now saying that the owner's been alerted, it's an unknown driver. We don't know who this driver is. So as a result, what we could have here in our vehicle operations center is that we may take various fairly severe actions here, call the police, prevent the vehicle from restarting, take the driver's picture, for example. But this would be very much up to whoever's managing this vehicle operations center.